In chapter 5 of 2 Corinthians, Paul is saying we are ambassadors for God. What does that really mean? If you looked up ambassador in the dictionary, it might say an accredited diplomat sent by a country as a foreign representative to a foreign country, or a person who acts as the representative. And we're familiar with this as the United States has ambassadors in foreign countries representing us. But have you ever thought about it in this biblical context and being called one yourself? How do I qualify as an ambassador for God? We need to remember that we are foreigners here. Our citizenship is in heaven, and so earth is just a temporary stopping point before our final destination. So this makes sense. We are God's representatives in this foreign land, earth. But how are we accredited, you might wonder? So we turn to 1 Peter 2:9, and it says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a people for God's own possession, that you may proclaim His excellencies." This verse should help us recall that by our baptism, we are priests, prophets, and kings. So whether you realize it or not, you are representing God every second of every day. So let me ask you, if you had a one-on-one with God to discuss this, how do you think that conversation would go? Oh boy, I think I'd hide in a corner because I can think of a lot of areas where I fall short over and over again. And you too might be tempted to give yourself a failing grade. But remember this, since we believe that Christ died for us, we also believe that we have all died to our old life. That means we are no longer living for ourselves, but we live for Christ. He gives us new mercies every day. He is with us wherever we go. He will go with us as we represent Him. He will even give us the words to use through the Holy Spirit living in us. In addition, His Word, the Bible, and the Eucharist are a transforming power in our lives, and these help us to be ambassadors for Christ. As ambassadors, we are to be people of light. Spread the gospel, share the story of our faith and church with family and co-workers, and live like Christ and pray, pray, pray. So in my imaginary one-on-one meeting with Him about my ambassadorship, I think He would tell me to keep steady at it, to keep my eyes on Him and His characteristics and strengths and not my own. He would remind me that I'm strongest when I'm the weakest, because when I rely most on Him, that's when I'm strong. And when I get tempted to have a pity party for myself, He would tell me to serve others by loving them selflessly, as He did for us, and pray for them. That would help me get my eyes off myself, He said. And right before our imaginary meeting ends, He had one final thought. He said, "Speak for Christ and plead to the people you talk to come back to me. Tell them I really love them and I miss them." And with that, our meeting ended. And He sent me back out with the strength and encouragement to keep going. I hope you will set up a time to have a one-on-one with God and see what He says to you about how your ambassadorship is going. And let me know how it turns out. I would love to hear.